Okay, Barry, it's 2 months since I last spoke to you. You're hoping we might be racing well before now, but you said you've been locked down for 3 months because of your underlying health conditions. Have you got a month off for good behaviour, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, more than a month, Simon, isn't it? Really, it looks like it's probably going to be 6 months.
Yeah, but
Obviously,
I mean, you're allowed out.
an absence of duty to behold.
But you're allowed out the house earlier now, aren't you?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I've been doing a bit of exercising. I found muscles on my bike I never knew existed. Yeah, back of my calves and the back of my thighs are, different class. Because, of course, when you stand on the stool all day, you don't tend to get that much exercise in your legs. So the rigor mortis can set in a little bit. But, doing a little bit of tennis now as well. So singles tennis. So enjoying it.
Good man. I noticed that we're now in what I assume is your office. So we can't see your garden. But you were going to do a lot of gardening, according to yourself 2 months ago. How did that go?
Well, it's such a shame it's raining, Simon, because I could have shown you all my wares that was going on in the garden, the green fingers effect. But sadly, it's raining, so hence we'll have to keep you in suspense.
I've seen on your social media platforms that you've been lamenting where you could have been for the last few weeks. I mean, I've been finding it really difficult, even though I've not been going racing that regularly for the last 12 months or so. But for you, it must be real withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, I've been bookmaker for 25 years, up and down the country, up and down the M6, the M5, across the Pennines, here, there, and everywhere. So actually, this enforced layoff, from my point of view, is actually quite nice. Yeah, all right, we can always say what we're missing. Obviously, with certain good meetings, chest on the doorstep, the big 3-day meeting, last month is normally a place that I love to frequent on my doorstep. But, I think today's new habit, which I would have been enjoyable, come down and see you down there, Simon. Come and sample the local, Devonian crab.
Now, obviously, a lot of racecourse bookmakers aren't as fabulously wealthy as you, so they may be struggling by now with no income. Can they get the self-employed government payment?
Yeah, I think. I mean, we're all entitled to it. We're all entitled to it because obviously we're not working. I mean, most of us do have mortgages to pay. If you're in a lucky position where you don't have to have a mortgage, then I suppose you don't need particularly a massive amount of income, maybe, because you're not spending too much. But in general, yeah, we're all entitled to the grants or whatever that are flying around, and I'm in no different position to anyone else, really, to be honest.
Now, we're hoping that, there's a lot of talk that when the pubs reopen, it's going to be like New Year's Eve for months on end. Are we hoping that's going to be the same when people are allowed back on racecourses? Are we going to get it? Are the on-course bookies going to get it all back in double quick time, the income they've not earned?
Well, it's a good question. It's a good question because we're up in the air at the moment, aren't we? I mean, the bottom line is we don't really know what date we're going back. I mean, if we're not back until another 2, 3, 4 months, which is more than likely, then people are going to be used to going out and spending money in shops and et cetera, online as well. Unfortunately, with regards to the online effect, it might draw more people towards the online. However, as we've said before in conversations, you can't beat going on course. Can you getting your cash out your pocket or taking cash out of the bank or whatever beforehand? Okay, there's not as much cash around that people are a little bit afraid to carry cash. But I still think, once all this has died down and people become more confident, they'll be taking money and cash to the tracks. In how much abundance, only time will tell. But I've got the full, almost confidence that things will return to as near normal as possible.
Now, one of the serious thing that could be serious for on-course bookies is that by necessity, racing's taking place behind closed doors, so they've had to find a new way of returning the SP. And the worry is that, well, some people are worried. I sort of think it may be a possibility that by the time bookmakers are back on course, the new system they're using is embedded in, all the technology's done, and there may not be much of an inclination to include the racecourse bookies again. Do you think that's a big worry, or what's your opinions on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they want to get the biggest margin they can within reason. As we said before, us on-course bookies, we're generally to the bone. There's good value to be had on course, and a lot of genuine sort of quite big punters realise that. Okay, you got the exchanges, doesn't necessarily mean you always got the liquidity. You know, you get paid out straight away when you go to a bookie. The money's there in your hand when you've had a bet. So I think the bottom line, it's a difficult one because with the SPs, you know, I've tried to push a little bit, speaking to a few people recently, with regards to a system whereby the bookmakers can provide prices outside of the SIS, going back to the shops. So provide a detailed, spot on to the point price of every bookmaker's computer can go into some sort of system that it relays the exact prices that are being shown from every bookmaker's computer at one time. Now, it might be a bit further down the line, but that might be an alternative to, you know, the bookmakers themselves providing, you know, the SP or a price or a proper on-course price, opposed to the off-course price and the you know, the SPs that are being shown now via the course, via the betting shop, and the online lads, you know, whatever they're showing, basically.
So do you think it would affect the on-course bookies very adversely if all of a sudden they were just inconsequential to the SP anymore?
Not particularly, because I think it's with regards to money coming from off course, from what I've seen, it's only being affected generally now. Now, from what I can gather, is the lesser likes of the Wolverhamptons and your Kemptons and your Lingfields, not too many bookies, and the prices, shall we say, can be manufactured by off-course money coming in, because there's not much money off the floor. So with regards to off-course money, and of course the big firms playing on-course, you know, obviously whether they play into the exchanges now is another matter, to change the prices that way, perhaps. So I think from a positive from the on-course chaps is that the very nature that if the shops show a poorish percentage return on the prices, then as you say, I go on Twitter and I go on social media a lot, then banging out what good value it is for the on-course boys with regards to the prices we're offering, opposed to the prices being returned or shown, then obviously that could attract more people to come racing, because they know that's where the value is.
Yeah, one of the consistents, at least since I've been involved, of Racecourse Bookmakers, is that they consistently cannot agree with each other about anything. Do you think they can all get together if their backs are now to the wall to promote themselves? Do you think that's a possibility as one organisation, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 11 or 12 different organisations, haven't we? Associations up and down the country. Obviously, they deal with their own small area, and they all feel as if they're needed and wanted, and the importance for them in their particular area. To me, it makes sense getting one or two proper associations amalgamated, you know, and proper voting goes out and proper communication to all the members, to all the bookmakers. The problem is half the time, you know, there's only 3 or 4 people making decisions on my behalf or other bookmakers' behalf by associations. You know, like I say, one of the 11 or 12 associations. The problem is we haven't got a say. Backline, bottom end, whatever you want to call. I've got reasonable pitches, you know, up and down the country, good, bad, indifferent. But I don't tend to have a particular say, apart from my blagging on Twitter, in matters that go on. It's normally the privy 2 or 3, basically. You know, so from that point of view, yes, I'd like to see an amalgamation of a few associations. I would.
Okay, Barry, so finally, on a happy note, hopefully, you see once this firestorm of a virus thing is ended, the green shoots are going to be springing up very quickly for on-course bookies, and we'll be back to normal.
Yeah, I can't see why not. I really can't see why not. I mean, obviously, it looks as though it's going to be coming into the harder times for us bookies, really. It looks like probably going to be October, aren't we? Sadly, unless things sort of rustle through. You know, so all the good meetings within reason have gone by the wayside. So yeah, hopefully those green shoots won't be weeds popping back up in the garden from where I've dug out so far.
Excellent. Okay, Barry, well, I really look forward to seeing you on the turf sooner rather than later. And thanks for getting back in touch with us and giving us your views. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next noon, Abbott.
Yes, you definitely will. Cheers, mate.